Nothing better than a good old-fashioned way to fill in time by reviewing a movie while driving home. It's dangerous. My phone could fall at any moment, but tends not to because I put it in a very good place where it stays right behind my fucking wheel, where you can barely see me when it gets dark, but fuck it, and I do it anyway. So, tonight's movie I'm going to be reviewing, I haven't done a movie review in about 2 weeks because I didn't go to a movie last week. I got sick, and we had a snowstorm and shit. Actually, I did go to a movie last weekend. I saw Knock at the Cabin again. I had seen it at an early screening, and then I did my review, and it's like my most viewed video. Because a lot of y'all viewed that one, because I was like one of the first 5 people to drop a review on the actual movie at the time. So, thank you for watching it. This will get nowhere near as many views. I'm not expecting that. But I do want to discuss this movie because I just had a chance to see it, and I quite enjoyed the movie I saw. More than I thought I would after I heard the reviews. I always give movies a definitive shot. There's never a time, I think, unless a really shitty religious movie, like a God's Not Dead, and I just know it's going to be bad, or some fucking Dinesh D'Souza film, then I don't really judge the movie entirely. Maybe I'll see a trailer be like, that looks like cringy shit. But then it can be a good surprise. I have not seen 80 for Brady. It looks cringy, but it could be a fun time. And people have been telling me it's not awful. There's a few chuckles and it's charming. It's cute. It's simple. It's whatever the fuck you want. You need that kind of movie sometimes. Again, I've yet to see 80 for Brady. I do hope to see it within probably the next week. I hope to see it before I go see Ant-Man next week, because I'm going to be seeing that 2 or 3 times. It's a Marvel movie, whether bad or good. I always end up seeing it 2 or 3 times because everyone wants to fucking go. So yeah, that's just how it ends up being. But for now, we're going to be talking about the amazing, electric third film and finale. At least they say it's the finale. You could easily come back and do another if you wanted to. But I believe this is truly the final one we are getting, and that is Magic Mike's The Last Dance. Directed again by Steven Soderbergh, who directed the first one, and bringing back Channing Tatum into the lead role, obviously. And now our big supporting role, because there really is only one role that I would say is the big other person in the movie, is Salma Hayek. And who does not love Salma Hayek? She's fucking funny. She's a great actress. Sexy. Let's go for it. I mean, you got the sexy man. You got to charm the men in the audience. Get a sexy woman. Get Salma Hayek on there. It's a good character to have, and a good an actress to play the role. And the movie, simple plot. Mike has not been dancing for a while. He's now a bartender, just trying to make back some money in the investment he paid from the last film. And he's just like, I need to make money, and I'll do this job to get money back. And then he does a bartending gig at Salma Hayek's house for a charity fundraiser. And the person who ends up being there is one of the people from a previous movie when Channing Tatum's Magic Mike character was a cop. And a cop being a stripper who dresses up like a cop and comes to your door and does a strip dance. And this person's now a lawyer, and she ends up being the legal lawyer for Salma Hayek's character. And she tells her hey, that guy Mike out there, that guy that's the bartender, he can cheer you up. That man is a great dancer, kind of secretly like that, you know. And he does a lap dance with Salma Hayek. She found a magical thing in it, and she wants to now put on the show at the theater and let him have full creative control of it. And this big show that's going to premiere in a month, kind of out of revenge for her husband, and in kind of in a way just to show how she felt as a woman, and to express the freedom of having this magical feeling of having all these men want you. And he's going to put on a giant dance strip show. And that is the plot of the movie. Very simple. Literally an hour of the movie is just setting up the show, building the characters a little bit there to set up a minimal romance, so by the ending it doesn't feel wasted. And then you have a 25 to 30 minutes of just dancing and some few jokes and stripping and love and intimate grinding, as it would be in a strip show. And the show part of it is a lot of fun. You're gonna have fun with the audience because there's a lot of funny gags in there and references to other things. It has a bunch of great dancing, stripping, of course, for the women in the audience. I'm sure they're going to love it. And even then, I was I would go watch the show live. It looks like a very well-production show. It's well put together by the ending. And you're probably wondering, okay, that's just the fun ending I get. So this isn't really a story film, Zach, is it? Is it more of a character study? And in that way, it's not. I think the first Magic Mike really nails the character study aspect. We kind of get the day in the life feel of that one especially. And that one feels more dramatic. It probably has the least humor of the three. It feels like each film kind of steps up the dry comedy tone more and more each time. And I thought with the second one, that completely fell flat because while there are funny moments in the second movie, that movie is just scenes happening with fucking literally no progression. I'd say at least here, the first 30 minutes and the last 30 minutes has some character and story progression at moments. Because this is a slice of life movie, this is kind of put together like the first two movies where we just follow these characters doing stuff on the average day, filling in this basic plot. And we get to know a little bit about the characters. It's a small character study, but you get to know a bit about them, and they grow a little bit throughout the movie, but definitely not majorly. Like, it's not a gigantic plot point. This car is annoying as fuck, bro. You're not even cool, bro. It's not even a good car. Why would you even get that for your car? Sorry about that. Yeah, I don't really have a ton to say about this movie other than I just had a fun time. Channing Tatum and Salma Hayek are both charming as a couple falling in love characters. They're cute. They're fine. Their chemistry isn't like fucking mind-blowing, but it's like, it's believable enough, and they are really cute together, and they have a lot of funny moments. And that really just derives from how good Salma Hayek and Channing Tatum are as performers. They both know how to do comedic timing. They both know that they're sexy, and they're going to use that to their advantage. And that's great for the film and for the audience members. And I think everyone in the audience had fun. I heard men and women all laughing. I went with a friend, and we were like, both straight men. And we had fun time watching it. Like, we quite enjoyed this movie. I think this is a vast improvement on the second film and about just as good as the first one. I think it's a solid, like, 7.5 out of 10 good time level movie. And I don't really have much else to say other than that. Like, it's not basic. I didn't, like, think the shit was lame, per se. You know, like, when I went to go see A Man Called Otto or, like, Plane, and I'm like, look, this isn't a bad film. I had a decent time watching it, but that is the most basic shit you could give me. This feels a little unique and has a little bit more substance, and I just love dry comedy a lot of the time, and this has a lot of that. So for what I got from it, I thought this was a fun time. I don't really have much else to say for my review. I think that's about it. If you have a chance to see this movie, honestly, see it in the Dolby Theater. Because if this is a film you're really looking forward to, I think the best way you can go see this would be in a loud-ass theater with a loud-ass crowd, and a Dolby Theater will have the music blaring. We were in the big theater next door to the Dolby Theater playing this movie, and you could just hear the fucking, like, the theater just get loud as shit. It was insane. Fire truck's about to pass me. But it was loud as fuck, and I loved it. I loved hearing it. You can see the light flash on me. I loved how fucking loud it was next door, because I could hear the music that was about to come on for the movie before it got there. So I like heard next door, I heard like doo 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 doo, Sail. You know that song, Sail? I literally heard it come on next door, and I was like, huh, I think they're watching Magic Mike. And when we got to that third act, that song comes on. I was like, oh, it's fucking funny as hell. So if you do see this, I bet you'd have a lot more fun in, like, say, a Dolby Theater. That atmosphere with the loud noise would just probably be the better vibe. Regardless of it, if you have interest in seeing this movie, it's probably a film you're going to enjoy. You've probably enjoyed the past few Magic Mike films. It's a very quiet, simple movie. It's a little too long. I think this movie's an hour, 55 minutes. For how basic the story really is, you could trim about 15 to 20 minutes of fat out of it. But then you lose some of the chuckles in the movie, and there is a good amount of chuckles. There's plot elements that don't get fully resolved, but I don't really care. I think I just want to watch this movie to have a really fun time, and I had a really fun time watching it. It is entertaining, to me at least. And yeah, if you already saw Knock at the Cabin and even Megan, or you see like the experimental films, you haven't went through all the Oscar films yet and those are playing, maybe yeah, see those. But like if you're just looking for a fun time, you're like, should I have my A-list? This isn't typically the movie I go to. Magic Mike is not a torturous time. I don't think you'll dislike it. I think at most you'll think that was mid. I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was a good film. I'd say a good, fun, solid film. And that's coming from me, a straight white man who you would think normally would be against seeing like this movie about stripping. But when you really look into the Magic Mike franchise, it's not all about stripping. It's really not. check out the first film. If you like that, imagine that with a more comedic undertone and a more basic plot, less character study, more average slice of life dance film. It's definitely better than the second one, although I know some people think the second one's more fun and better. I think that movie is just chopped up and kind of a fucking mess. Even though I think there's really funny moments in the second, I would watch this, or the first, multiple times over before I would go back and watch Magic Mike XXL. Funny title, I'll give it that. But yeah, Magic Mike Last Dance is in theaters now. Fun time, I enjoyed it. If you have time to go see it or you haven't see it, you'll probably enjoy it. Go check it out. And I'm about to be home, so that is the end of my review. Bye.